Welcome to Your Health Matters. I'm your host, Temesia Tuicaumia, and tonight I have a very special guest. She's also become a good friend of mine, and I've learned quite a lot from her. So please, if we can welcome Jodie. How are you doing? Bula Jodie.
Thank you for having me.
I know this is only our second time meeting, but
We're
I feel like I've known you forever.
friends.
I think the interesting thing about the work you do that I'd love you to just please introduce yourself so people know
Sure.
exactly what you do.
Sure. So, most importantly, I'm a mum to two beautiful
Yes.
little girls. I am a women's health coach and also a Matrescense and Motherhood Facilitator. So, not a lot of people would know what Matrescense
Not a lot,
is.
yeah. Is it big here in the Pacific?
No.
Have you seen much? No.
No. In fact, whenever I speak about Matrescense, everyone's like,
Yeah.
what is that?
What is matrescence?
And it is a term that was coined in 1970 by an
Wow.
anthropologist, so it's quite new, really.
Right.
But it is the transition that a woman goes through when she becomes a mother.
Wow.
So being able to name it,
Yeah.
and it gives that woman a path that we all walk.
Yeah.
Naming it is so important because it takes away shame and
It
stigma
does, yeah.
from the struggles that we may have in that time.
In that space.
Yeah.
Well, this is for all our amazing women that are out there. Jodie is a women's health coach, and tonight we're going to really dive into some things that she as a coach does. And I think these are things that we've always kind of known in our community, but we've never put a name to it. And so it's really cool to have you here with us. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Can you tell us about, I know the story, but I'd
Yes.
love everyone to know how this journey started for you and why you're so passionate about women's health and becoming a coach.
Sure. So for me, it really stemmed from my own struggles.
Yeah.
I have a 10-year-old girl, and during my...
She's 10 already.
She's 10.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
So, and I have a 3-year-old as well.
3-year-old.
Completely. That's another
That's
topic.
a surprise one.
Yeah. But my 10-year-old was, I struggled to fall pregnant. So it
Yeah.
took me a couple of years to fall pregnant. And even that journey held a lot of shame and stigma
Yeah,
for me.
stigmas, yeah.
And I finally fell pregnant and I was like, this is the most amazing thing ever. And
I'm having a baby.
yeah, and I was so excited, but I had no idea the struggles I would have afterwards. It was hormonally, physically, emotionally, everything
And
just
that's
got...
a struggling term too. And when anyone hears hormones, they're like, oh, what are you
it's
talking about?
It's a big thing at the
It
moment,
is,
isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
And so it should be.
Yeah, it should
because
be.
women, we just
That's
run
a
by
superpower
hormones.
right there, yeah.
Exactly. And so I'm so glad that it is being spoken about.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I struggled in all aspects of my life. My marriage suffered. My
And it
relationships.
affects, it's a ripple effect. It doesn't just
is.
affect you,
Yes.
but it affected,
Yes.
baby, your
Yes.
husband, the extended family.
Yes. And so it took me years to heal. I did a lot of...
And Jodie, this is by the time you've already moved.
I was in Fiji.
You were
I had
here?
Ava here.
You had
I had
Ava
Ava
yeah.
here locally, and so I've been in Fiji since 2012.
Yeah.
So we've been here a long
Yeah,
time.
Fiji's home.
Yes, it is. And I did go back to Australia for a little while, but we've always
Been here.
been here.
Yeah, this is home.
But that postnatal experience was really tough.
Yeah.
It just turned my world upside down and sent me on this path of wanting to know more about women's health.
Right.
And so I started studying and I became a women's health coach in
And so
nutrition.
something about yes.
Yes, in nutrition.
One of my favorite topics. I think people miss out on just eating right.
Yes.
You know?
Nutrition is such a powerful tool
It
in our
is.
health, and I
Yeah.
think it's very undervalued.
Yeah.
A lot of our hormonal things can be managed by diet as well.
Oh,
so
well, there you go, moms. And all our amazing women
Yes.
in Fiji and the Pacific.
Yes,
Nutrition.
diet.
What did you say? Nutrition is a tool.
to manage any health.
nutrition is a tool to manage.
It's
I
one
love
of,
that.
It's one of the tools I would focus on with a mum first up is what is your nutrition
What
like?
is your nutrition like?
Because it has such a flow-on effect on how our body works, how our mind works.
Yeah.
So I studied that, and then I had a second child.
Yeah.
COVID hit, and I
You
thought
were
the world
ready
was
now,
ending.
ready for the second one. The world's ending. We need to have one more
Yes.
baby.
Yeah. So we did, and she came fast and quick, and I fell pregnant immediately. And I think that was because I focused so much on myself, and my health was in such a good place.
Yeah.
And then that sent me down a path of a bit of an identity crisis. I didn't really know what I wanted to do or how I fitted into society anymore.
Yeah.
And so I started studying Matrescense.
Wow.
And understanding that whole transition that a mother goes through. And so
Wow.
now I holistically have a business that supports mums.
That's amazing. I'd love to touch too on that postnatal that you were sharing about.
Yeah.
And a lot of moms, you know, are not aware of things that they can do or cannot do. Is there things that you could just quickly share with us?
Sure.
What are some things you learned from your experience, and what did you do differently by the second time you had your miracle baby again?
Yeah. The second time I allowed and I asked for help.
Yeah.
I
That's the big change.
I think that was my biggest change. I think too often we think because having a baby is a natural thing, a woman should be able to do, so we have this theory in Matrescense around superwoman. And we try and be all and do all everything.
Yeah.
And I know here we're so lucky in Fiji to have that community and that village feel.
We have that whole, it takes a village to raise a child.
Correct, and it really does. But in the
does.
Western world, we're so siloed and left alone. And I think that was my number one thing. I allowed help because the first time I didn't.
And was this something you just experienced, or was it after you went through, you know, studying on Matrescense and understanding that as a coach?
I think it was my personal experience, knowing how much I struggled. Unfortunately, after Ava was born, my husband had to move to PNG for work, so I was literally left alone. I lived in Pac Harbour. My in-laws, who were so supportive, but they were 45 minutes away. So often I was alone. And that had a huge effect on my physical and emotional well-being. So I knew the second time around, I'm going to take all the help I can. And I allowed people to help. There was a little bit of isolation, but also I was like, no, I can do this. I'm a mum. This is my God-given right, and I should be able to do this.
I should be able to do this.
But it does take a village to raise a baby.
Raise a baby.
But also to raise a mother.
Yeah.
Which I think we really...
That's a tough one, yeah?
It is, because I think we are so focused on the baby, and rightly so. We've got this beautiful little bundle that we need to, you know, sustain
nurture
life.
And love and care.
But
Mothers
often the
need it
mothers
too.
are forgotten about, and they need that support.
Yeah.
Second time round, I also knew my nutrition.
Right.
Nutrition was so important for me,
key.
making sure that I ate iron-rich foods, making sure I had enough protein.
What are some of these iron-rich food?
Liver, spinach, your green vegetables.
Green vegetables, wow.
Not
the
many.
ones where we're like, no, I'll just have like chicken soup. No,
Yes,
but this is important.
Yeah, but I mean, you can chuck spinach in that soup.
Chicken soup.
So I'm not a huge fan of liver, but I made sure that in that 40-day period of after giving birth that I had
That's
a
such
lot
a mother thing, though. You know,
It
it's
is.
like, I don't love liver, but I'm going to do it because I have a baby and my baby needs to have this.
Yes, and I knew that I needed to sustain myself.
Yeah.
I needed to look after myself as well as that baby, which I didn't.
So much growth, though, from first baby to second baby.
Huge. And even my husband says, like, oh, and my mum, I'm a completely different
mum.
because I've learned so much.
Wow. Well, that was a lot to take in, and I know we'd still love to share with our all our amazing guests, viewers that are watching from home about Matrescense, and we'll dive in more deeper right after the break.
Program is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Medical Services, shaping Fiji's.
Welcome back to Your Health Matters. I'm your host, Temesia, and we have Jodie today in studio tonight. We're talking about Matrescense, and now it's one of my other favorite topics, redefining motherhood. And I think Jodie's the best person to break it down for us. We were just talking about redefining motherhood, you know, and I had shared with you some experiences when you talk to some mothers or women that have battled through cancer or who have lost their lives through cancer, or you speak to their families and say, you know, what happened to mom? Or what happened in this situation? And said, she just didn't tell us that she was sick, you know? And so if you could just share with us, how important is this?
Gosh, I understand that from a
mother's point of view.
Yes, thank you. From a mother's point of view, because society has unconsciously made us feel like we should be able to do all and be all and just have it all together
Thank you for saying
and
that,
don't
yeah.
be a burden to the family and just get it done. And it's kind of like being a martyr.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like sometimes that is in our current society as
Yep.
well. Women are like, just get it done.
Even culture.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
No, she's the mom.
Yes.
She's strong. She
Yes,
can do it. You
yes.
know? She's had 5 babies. She has, you know, that whole mentality around it,
yes,
mindset.
yes. But when I talk about redefining motherhood,
Yes.
I think it's really important to see the mother as a woman, the mother as a person. She has needs, wants, desires. She is just as important as her children.
Yeah.
And so I've developed a whole program around redefining.
Oh, okay. No, I don't think we've never talked about this program.
So it
Wow.
is just in a 6-week program where we really do hone into kindness, grace, compassion, connection, trust,
Yeah.
value, these core principles
Yeah.
of matrescence,
Yeah.
and how we can go and redefine them, because
It's such a strong word, matrescense.
It
It's
is.
Just, you say it and you're just like, what is that?
yes,
You want to dive in more.
Yes, the premise of the program is it allows the mum to understand that she's no longer who she once was, and that's okay.
And that's okay.
But we're going to redefine of who you are becoming
Yeah.
now. It's like a butterfly.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, I
that
love
chrysalis,
it. Yeah,
you
the
know,
life
like,
cycle of a butterfly.
Yes, you know, we're not failing.
No.
We're just becoming something
Yeah.
different. And same when we go
It's a
through
good change,
perimenopause
yeah.
and menopause. You know,
Oh, yeah, that's a good one to talk to.
we're
talk
also
about too.
changing, you know, like
Yeah.
women go through so much,
much.
and yet we don't feel like we can openly talk about it. So
it's
I hope
important
to
these
change that.
spaces are available for our
Yes.
women.
Yeah, 100%.
That's amazing. How
Yeah.
important matrescence in I know we had that discussion just about culture, and you had mentioned there's a lot to still study about Fiji and our terminologies and how
Yes.
it plays a role in there.
Yeah, because
How has that been like for you?
I've had many conversations with beautiful local women who have explained to me that they're Tandroka.
Yes.
And so one beautiful lady explained to me that her family member had a baby and she was
Yeah.
having such a hard time mentally,
Yeah.
and then she was ended up in St. Giles.
Wow.
And I feel like personally, I don't know that whole history and I don't know the
yeah.
experience, but I believe that we holistically have to support the mum.
Yeah.
We have to understand, you know, there is a mental health aspect to it, but nutrition plays a huge part. That 40-day, they say that first 40 days is such a sacred time
Wow.
in a mother's life after
Yeah.
she's given birth, and understanding that she just needs calm, support, nutrition, help with the baby, you know, just that time to recover. You know, it's such a huge toll on a female's body to give
is, yeah.
birth. And so that first 40 days to honour her, I think makes a huge flow-on effect moving forward in her motherhood journey. And that's what I did the second time round. I was like, I'm not working, I'm not
doing anything.
really seeing anyone,
No.
I'm not going out of my way, I'm staying home, I'm with my baby, I'm with my family.
No schedule, just
Yes, yeah, relaxing, sleeping when I can, feeding the baby, taking it easy, and it made a huge difference. Huge difference.
Jodie, would it be okay just for you to quickly, I know I've said this how many times, but just matrescence, if you could just simplify it for those that are at home that,
Yeah.
you know, just need to hear it one more time. If you could define it in any way possible, why it's important for our moms.
Matrescence is a journey that a mother will go through once she's given birth. And it's important to understand that, because naming it allows her to experience everything that will come without shame, without guilt, without feeling like something is wrong with her when she's not loving every moment of motherhood. So that's probably the simplest way I can explain it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just felt like we just needed to mention
Yeah.
it one more,
Yes,
just for
yes.
the moms at home that are wondering, what is that word again they were mentioning?
Yes.
I need to write it down, you know?
Yes.
And so she's also got a Facebook page, and she's on social media, so make sure to reach out. We'll make sure to put it out there for all our moms that are watching. Okay, now, hormones. If you wouldn't mind just diving into that. I know moms at
Gosh.
home are like, why are we talking about hormones, you know? But it's an important part for a woman's body.
Oh gosh, It
And
really is.
Yeah, if you could just dive into that for us.
Sure. I think I know personally I'm going through perimenopause myself, and so if you speak to my husband, he will tell you
like,
it's a wild ride.
At this time, I'm away from Jodie.
It is a lot that a woman goes through,
Yeah.
and we do need to start talking about
We
it.
do.
Men go on a 15-minute hormonal cycle.
Yeah.
You pump out testosterone every 15 minutes.
Wow.
We are on a 28 to 30-day cycle. So we have...
I'm sorry, what? Say that again. We're in 15 minutes?
15 minutes. Every 15 minutes
Every
you
15
pump out
minutes.
testosterone.
Okay.
And you just have that hormone that just regularly pumps it
Regulates,
out.
yeah.
Whereas a female, we have 4 different cycles, and each of those have different hormones. And
Whoa.
so... You know, we can become out of balance. We have cortisol, which is our stress hormones,
Yeah.
which affect other hormones.
Yeah.
Estrogen or lack of estrogen, we have
Wow.
over 70 receptors in our body. So places where
Whoa.
hormones and
Yeah.
estrogen
Strategically
supports.
supports.
Yeah. So when something's out of balance, it affects a lot of her physical and emotional well-being. And I'm a
Yeah.
walking, breathing testament to that.
I feel like the women that are watching tonight are like, oh, that explains.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to
Yeah.
start having these conversations,
yeah.
even with our loved ones and we live with, I'm
Yeah.
sure I keep referencing him because he comes on this journey with me a
He
lot.
does, yeah.
And
you had mentioned, when you went through this,
Mm-hmm.
that's how you've become this amazing coach that you are. It affected your marriage as
It
well,
did.
and
It
so
did,
it's a good
yes.
topic, I think, for women out there that
Yeah.
are married and that are
Yes,
dealing with this, that
yes.
their husbands play a strong role.
a huge role,
Mm.
and I am lucky I have an amazing husband
Yeah.
and who stood by my side. But there was many moments there where I'm sure he thought, what is going on with her? I'm a completely different person to who I was 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
And
Wow.
even during that postnatal period
Yes.
where I was depleted and suffered with anxiety and depression, and I was so
Wow.
unhappy, and I
Yeah.
felt like nothing he did helped.
Wow.
I felt like he couldn't see my point of view. I couldn't see his point of view.
Yeah.
And it caused a lot of friction within the marriage. And luckily, as I did my therapy and I did
Yes.
the work and worked with an amazing doctor back home who was able to help me regulate and fix hormonal issues.
Yeah.
And he was waiting for me, and
Wow.
we were able to come back
Journey
together.
together,
So,
yeah.
I mean, he plays his part too.
He plays his part too, yeah.
But, a lot of that was the transformation that I was going through. And so
It's a good reminder, all the amazing husbands out
be
there.
patient.
Be patient with your wife.
Yes, she's
and when
going
she's
through
on
a
that
lot.
journey, yeah.
Yeah, and even now with my children, I will openly talk to them about.
And you have 2 girls. They're
I have,
growing.
and that's why it's so
And
important.
so this is a conversation you have with them as well?
all the time.
Wow.
All
Okay,
the time.
moms, there you go. If you have young daughters out there, make
Yes.
sure to have conversations with them.
Yes, I always say Mummy's not feeling great.
Mm.
Something inside of me is going on and I'm not feeling the best. And I will always apologize when I may not handle the
Yeah.
situation very well.
I love that. It's humility.
Well, it's
sorry,
it's,
mom's
it's
tired
respect
today. Or
and
sorry.
it's,
Yeah.
it's understanding. I'm not perfect, and I always say to my 10-year-old, I've never been a mum to a 10-year-old before, so we're doing this together.
We're doing this together.
Yeah, we're learning together. I do not know everything,
Yeah.
and that's it. I think it's really important that as mums, we shed that.
Yeah.
We be honest. We be
Yeah.
vulnerable.
Be
we say,
vulnerable.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Let's
Yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah. I remember I was a great leader with the United Nations. He said, your greatest weapon when you go into a meeting and you don't know what to do, you just say, I don't know. It was so humbling to hear him say that.
I agree.
Well, we'll be right back right after the break with Jodie on Your Health Matters.
This program is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Medical Services, shaping Fiji's.
Welcome back to Your Health Matters. I'm your host, Temesia, and tonight we have a special guest, Jodie, a women's health coach. Well, we've had a great discussion.
We have.
And now I'd love to really touch on that perimenopause
Sure. Yeah.
season in a woman's life. I think that one there needs a lot of discussion.
Yes.
And also moms, when they return back to work,
Yeah.
you really touched on identity.
Yes.
And
yeah.
those
Yeah.
two important areas I
Yeah.
believe that we could really
Okay.
shed some light.
I believe a mum returning to work is a really hard decision for her in the first place.
Oh, sorry. One more question.
Yes.
How long? You know, you've said that 40-day window, moms really need to take the pause button, because I know some moms are like, I got to return back to work.
Yes.
And then
yes.
they're only given 3 months.
Yes.
From your opinion as a women's health coach, what's a good time for these moms to
gosh.
really put a pause button?
I would
Because I
love
know
to
some
see.
are career,
Yes, yes. I mean, if a mum is having a hard time, I would love to see her have a whole year off.
There we go.
I would
A
love
whole
to
year.
see her take that time to integrate everything that's going on within her body,
Yeah.
learn how to be a mum, you know, without the extra pressure of work.
Yeah.
But I understand that that's
We
not always
understand,
possible.
yeah,
That's not always possible. And so for me, advocating for mums who choose or may need to go back to work, having corporate environments and businesses understand that it is a major transition for her. And she
Very important.
she deserves understanding, compassion, kindness, flexibility.
Yeah.
She has a lot of intellectual property as well. She's
Yeah.
coming back into that business and
Yeah.
you want to retain her.
Yeah.
But you also need to support her.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that piece is lost or not really understood, that she's coming back a slightly different person with a different
Yeah.
priority that
Yeah.
she needs to also focus on.
You really got me thinking, you know. I'm just thinking now when we see people returning to work who've just had a baby, you know, and we're kind of like still in the same setting
Yes.
before she left, but she's coming back really different.
So different.
Wow.
And I wonder if you would speak to that mum after being there for a week or two,
week or
how
two, yeah.
she
How
feels
she
about that, and
feels,
how
yeah.
returning to work, she would feel what we call competing devotions.
Oh, wow.
So
That's
competing
a good, competing
Yes,
devotions.
as in,
Wow.
you know, what's really important to her. She wants to be with her baby, but she wants to be at work. She's got these two really big competing
Yeah.
devotions, and what that does
This whole
for her.
like mind game.
Correct. She would be feeling so much confusion and frustration and upset and joy and all of these feelings. And so it's a huge transition for her, and I would love to
And moms
see.
can have both, right? Have a
can.
career and
We
have
can.
children.
We can. And I think if businesses and corporates learn to
It's a good
support
message
them.
out to our public sector and
Yes,
private sector
yes.
to really take our moms seriously.
Yes.
And
Because often, sorry to
no,
interrupt you.
go, please, go ahead.
But often they get to a point where they hit the maternal wall. And what that means is that they will either think, I'm being overlooked for promotion because
That's
they
it.
think I'm not able to commit because I have a child, or...
And why is that even questioned, you know? Wow, that's a good one.
And then perimenopause.
Yes, please.
So it's a bit of a hot topic at the moment.
It is.
Which I think is a wonderful conversation to be had.
Yeah.
For a long time, women have suffered. Women suffer in silence.
Yeah.
Society has only in, I think it was 1980, did a clinical trial
Not too
on
long
women.
ago, yeah.
We have been left out of clinical trials.
Wow.
Women's health hasn't been a focus.
Not prioritized.
Funding is really low on women's health.
On women's health.
And so we are now hitting a generation of women who know there's a better way and are advocating for themselves.
Like you.
Yes.
One.
Yes, I need more.
Yeah.
But perimenopause is that it lasts anywhere between 4 to 10 years.
Okay.
So it's not just I'm going through perimenopause for
No.
3 months and then I'm done.
That's it, yeah.
It's a really long process.
Wow.
And we call it the zone of chaos because your hormones fluctuate dramatically.
Really?
As your
I can imagine that affecting your whole your environment. You know?
Yes,
Your
yes.
home, your working
Yes.
place, your social life.
Yes, your own sense of self.
Yeah. Whoa.
Yeah. Again, I think when we liken matrescence to adolescence, that hormonal shift, and I see it very similar on the other end.
Right.
But I think it's such a blessing because it's
It
an
is.
honour and it's a blessing to be able to age. And this is a transition that every single woman will go through. And it needs to be honoured and shared and spoken about more. And that's why I'm such a huge advocate to talk about that, the hormonal changes that we go through. But like I mentioned, it lasts 4 to 10 years.
It's not even a short time. I mean, that's almost half a decade to a full decade.
Yeah, and some women can breeze through it, and then some others have a myriad of symptoms that could range from brain fog, heart palpitations, skin irritations, itchy eyes.
These are simple things that you would,
gut issues. Like there's over 70 symptoms of, of the menopause or perimenopause.
And how can these women find support?
I'm available.
Oh, there you go.
But also there is plenty of information online. If you look up menopause support or perimenopause, and it's such a hot topic at the moment, you would find a plethora of information on there. But understand there's so many wonderful books as well that can be read.
Always good to have a good book on
yes,
that.
oh gosh, I've got such a pile that I'd be happy to...
I can imagine your library.
Yes, many health books. But I think we as women have to take that power back and educate ourselves and advocate for ourselves and know, okay, I know over the last 10 years what my body has been like. I know that the last year it's changing. I feel different. I'm reacting different. Rage, mood, all kinds of things going on, which isn't me. But again, you could see it as an upgrade. You shed a lot as well, and you learn to let things go. And so I think it's also a beautiful process as well. But it's also very tricky.
Yeah, it is. Wow.
Yes.
Well, I'd just love you to share just some advocacy tools, for our moms that are at home right now that are watching, even our dads that play a strong role, supporting their wives.
Yes.
And family members that are around, first-time moms, and or maybe their aunties that are having their second child, and they're around. How can everyone support mom, and how can mom speak out more when she needs help?
Well, I think exactly what you've just said. Having the courage to admit that things are not going well at the moment.
Step one.
Yes, having the voice, being confident enough to say, hey, I'm not feeling great, because I think when we start naming the emotions and the feelings and the experience, it opens that dialogue.
Yes.
Or we're able to talk about it, within community, within our families. How community and families can support the mum is kindness. Understanding, patience.
I feel like there's always I don't know what to do, and you just simplified it.
Yes,
just be kind. Mom.
Just be kind and patient with her. Know that she, most of that time, is not choosing to be this way or to feel this way. It is her body working to shed, grow, change, develop, however you may look at it. But it's the patience and kindness and compassion that I really feel like society, community, families need for her. And find a wonderful doctor. Find somebody that you trust, who is well versed in women's health, and who's able to support you through the many transitions that you will go through.
Wow. Well, Jodie, is there anything else that you would just like to advocate out to the community tonight, before we wrap up?
Sure. My number one message for mums is, you are not broken.
That's a good one.
Your feelings and experiences are valid, and they matter, and your voice matters, and we need to speak up and ask for help when we're not having the best of times, and know that it is a season and that we can move through it with proper support.
It's not forever.
No, they're all seasons. They're all seasons, and it's just how we openly discuss them and get that support, how easily or hard we move through them.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for being here tonight,
thank you
Jodie.
for having me.
To all our amazing viewers out there, you know that you can reach out to Jodie on Facebook. We'll make sure to have that on the MaiTV Facebook platforms and on our website, so that you can find Jodie easily, even right here somewhere for you to see. Thank you, Jodie.
Thank you.
And that's it for us tonight on Your Health Matters. I'm your host, Temesia Tuicaumia, and we'll see you here next week at the same time here on MaiTV.
Program is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Medical Services, shaping Fiji's health.